Today's lecture on some MCQs. So we will practice this. This is the set. So let's begin. Section 2 clause 89 87 defines subsidiary company holding say control. Section 2 clause 87 defines subsidiary company holding company controls more than 50% of voting powers. Minimum number of members for one person company is 1. Key managerial person KMP includes CS, CFO, MD, and other who else under Section 2 Clause 51 whole-time director. Maximum number of members in a private company under Companies Act 2030 is 13 is 200. Maximum number of members in private company 200 members. 2 clause 85 small company paid up capital threshold amended is up to 4 crore. 2 clause 85 small company paid up capital threshold amended is up to 4 crore. Application for reservation of a name for new company incorporation is made in the form of run oblique spice plus part A. Certificate of incorporation is issued to registrar of company form INC 11. Entrenchment provision in article of association can be inserted by private company by agreement of all members. Registered office of company must be verified within how many days of incorporation. 30 days of incorporation in form INC 22. Commencement of business declaration by director in form filled in form 20A. कमेंसमेंट बिजनेस डिक्लेरेशन का डायरेक्टर वो फिल किया जाता है फॉर्म में वो INC 28 कन्वर्शन ऑफ सेक्शन 8 कंपनी इनटू एनी अदर काइंड रिक्वायर्स अप्रूवल ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट रीजनल डायरेक्टर dormant company status is applied under section 455 dormant company status section 455 self prospectus remains valid for a maximum period of 1 year. Information memorandum is filed before prior to issue of securities under self prospectus in form pass 2. Information memorandum is filed prior to issue of securities under self prospectus in form pass 2. Red herring prospectus must be filed with ROC at least how many days prior to opening of subscription list? 3 days. Private placement of securities is governed under Section 42. Private placement of securities is governed under Section 42. Maximum number of persons to whom private placement offer can be made in a financial year excluding QIBs and employees 200. Maximum number of persons to whom private placement offer can be made in a financial year. Voting right on equity share are governed under Section 47. Voting right of shares on equity share are governed under Section 47. Issue of shares with differential voting right (DVR) cannot exceed what percentage of total post issue for paid up equity capital. Issue of share with differential voting right (DVR) cannot exceed 74% of total post issue paid up equity capital. Share certificate must be delivered within 2 months from allotment of share. Duplicate share certificate must be issued by a listed company with how many days of submission of documents? After 15 days, within 15 days of submission of documents. Transfer of unlisted securities required execution of instrument in form SH4. Refusal to register transfer of share by private company must be communicated within 30 days. Refusal to register transfer of share by private company must be communicated within how many days? 30 days. Appeal against refusal to register share of transfer of share lies before NCLT. Significant beneficial owner (SBO) provisions are specified under Section 90. Declaration of SBO specified beneficial owner is submitted by individual to company in form Ben 1. Company files return to specified beneficial owner with ROC in form Ben 2. Register of members is maintained under Section 88. Register of members is maintained under Section 88. Closure of register of member in a year cannot exceed 45 days in aggregate. Annual return of company is governed under Section 92. Annual return of company governed under Section 92. Annual return of listed company must be signed by CS in practice in form MGT8. Annual return of listed company must be signed by CS in practice in form MGT8. Every company must hold its first AGM within how many months from the close of financial year 9th months. Power of registrar to extend time for holding AGM is other than first AGM is up to maximum of 3 months. Extraordinary General Meeting (EGM) called by requisionists must be held within how many days from the requisition date? 45 days. Quorum of public company with member exceeding 5,000 is personally present members 30. 1,000 का 5 है, 5,000 का बचा 25 नहीं 30 है. Chairman of general meeting is selected on a show of hands unless otherwise provided in A under section 104. Proxy holder has no right to speak at meeting, vote on show of hands, all of the above. Form quorum. Proxy instrument must be deposited with company at least how many hours before meeting? 48 hours. Proxy instrument must be deposited with company at least 48 hours before meeting. Postal ballot notice and voting is regulated under section 110. Minutes of general meeting must be entered in minute book with how many days of meeting? 30 days. Resolution requiring special notice are covered under section 115. Copy of special resolution must be filed with ROC in Form MGT 14 with how many days? 30 days. Dividend declared at AGM must be paid within how many days from declaration? 30 days. Unpaid or unclaimed dividend must be transferred to unpaid dividend account within how many days after 30 days period? 7 days. Compulsory audit of accounts of every company is mandated under section 139. Individual statutory auditor can be appointed for a maximum continuous term of 1 year or of 5 years. Individual statutory auditor can be appointed for a maximum continuous term of 5 years. Audit firm can be appointed as statutory auditor for maximum continuous term of 2 terms of 5 years each. Cooling off period for statutory auditor or audit firm post completion of maximum tenure is 5 years. First auditor of non-government company is appointed by board of director with how many days of incorporation? 30 days. If board fails to appoint first auditor, members appoint him in EGM within how many days? 90 days. If board fail to appoint first auditor, अगर बोर्ड फेल हो जाता है फर्स्ट ऑडिटर अपॉइंट करने के लिए, मेंबर अपॉइंट करता है उसको एजीएम में कितना दिन में? 90 दिन में. कैजुअल वैकेंसी इन ऑफिस ऑफ स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर कॉस्ट बाय रेजिग्नेशन. रेजिग्नेशन से जो कैजुअल वैकेंसी हो रहा है ऑफिस में, caused by resignation is filled by members within how many months of board resolution? Board recommendation 3 months. Removal of statutory auditor before expiry of term requires previous approval of central government form ADT2. Resigning statutory auditor must file statement with ROC and company in form ADT3 with how many days? 30 days. Audit reporting fraud involving amount of 1 crore or more to central government use form ADT4. Secretarial audit is applicable to public companies having turnover at least 250 crore. Internal audit is mandated under section 138. Cost audit provisions are specified under section 148. Director identification number (DIN) specific application is made under section 153. Maximum number of directorship an individual can hold across all companies combined is 20. Maximum directorships in public company an individual can hold 10. Appointment of additional director is made by a board under section 161 clause 1. Additional director holds office up to next of date of next AGM. Alternate director is appointed by board during director's absence from India for a period of not less than 3 months. Nominee director is appointed under section 161 clause 3. Director resigning from company files notices of resignation with ROC in form DIR 11. Company intimates ROC regarding change in director or KMP in form DIR 12. Disqualification for appointment as director under section 164. Vacation of office of director occurs automatically under section 167. Notice of board meeting must be given in writing to every director at least how many days in advance? 7 days. Notice of board meeting must be given in writing to every director at least how many days in advance? 7 days. Board meeting as shorter notice. Board meeting on a shorter notice can be held provided at least one of which director is present, independent director. Board meeting on shorter notice can be held provided at least one independent director is present. Quorum of board meeting under Companies Act is one third the total strength or two director whichever is higher. Passing of resolution by circulation by board is governed under section 175. Audit committee constitution is mandated for public companies with paid up capital of at least 10 crore. Nomination and remuneration committee (NRC) is mandated under section 178. Power of board of directors are specified under section 179. Restriction on power of board requiring special resolution are contained in section 180. Maximum limit of political contribution by a company except government and new company less than 3 years. No statutory ceiling limit. Disclosure of interest by director at least at first board meeting of a financial is made under section 184. General disclosure of interest by director is given in form MBT1. Loan and investment by company beyond 60% paid up capital plus free reserve or 100% free reserve requires a special resolution in general meeting. Thanks a lot.